Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shit. I hope you all are doing well. I was doing better before going on kind of a rabbit hole into this story. Now, I want to make a disclaimer when we have this discussion. The life of a young sister being taken is nothing to take lightly. It is nothing funny. It is absolutely devastating. I cannot imagine what her parents are experiencing right now. I know that nothing but God can get you through not only losing your baby, but losing your baby in that way. And as a mother myself, I want to say condolences to her family. You will be in my prayers. But I never believe in a death being in vain. And we're going to have a very important conversation. Your big sister going to have this talk with you. For little sisters out there, or even my peers, we need to have a very serious conversation. That's what we're going to do today. And we're going to break this down. Now, before we get into today's conversation, once again, let's get into today's look. Okay, ladies, if you don't know by now, I have a women's only Patreon. It is a group of like-minded ladies who are solution-oriented, wanting to be the best version of that woman in the mirror. We have a really great time. We have a Discord, like a group chat. We do movie nights. We have get-togethers, and I do all kind of exclusive content just for the group. So if you are tired of being mean and ugly, come to death row, baby. Now, I am going to start by pulling up this article, and I'm going to read this article for people who may not be fully aware of the story, because I had heard kind of bits and pieces about it myself, but I also was not 100% aware of the story. We're going to go over, a short version of the story, and then I'm going to give some very important commentary. So make sure y'all watch this all the way through. This article is from Essence. It is titled, "A Grieving Wisconsin Community Remembers Sade Robinson, a 19-year-old college student murdered and dismembered after a first date." And this is the beautiful young sister here. Let's just have a moment of silence for this beautiful young sister. All right, we pray for peace for this sister. She's absolutely gorgeous. Look at her. Just look at her one more time. These are our babies. All right. It says, let me make sure y'all can see this. Okay, y'all can see it. It says, family, friends, and members of the community gathered on Friday night at Kilbourne Reservoir Park in Milwaukee to remember and honor Sade Carlina Robinson. The 19-year-old college student was murdered and dismembered after she went on a first date with a man earlier this month. "I'm still grieving tremendously," Robin's mother, Sheena Scarborough, said, according to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. "This is the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my entire life." According to prosecutors, Scarborough's daughter went on a first date with Maxwell Anderson, a 33-year-old bartender in Milwaukee, on April 1st. Robinson was reported missing the next day, and the dismembered body part was found in a park. Since then, other body parts believed to belong to Robinson have been discovered in Milwaukee County. Human remains found on the shores of Lake Michigan as recently as Thursday are believed to be those of Robinson. A person found a torso and an arm on a remote stretch of tree-lined beach of Lake Michigan, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office said in a statement per NBC News. Although it has not yet been forensically confirmed, investigators are confident the remains are those of Sade Robinson, 19. Investigators believe were murdered by Maxwell Anderson earlier this month. Several body parts have been discovered since April 2nd, including a severed right leg found in Warnemont Park. This leg has been identified as Robinson's based on preliminary findings, according to a criminal complaint filed as reported by NBC News. Unidentified remains were discovered April 5th, 6th, and 7th in one area of Milwaukee, city police said. According to the complaint, a human foot found on April 6th adjacent to train tracks appeared to be that of the same person as the right leg. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This, oh my God, I can't even say what I want to say right now. This is traumatizing to see. I never expected to pull up in front of my door, Scarborough told Nancy Grace on her talk show, Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. This isn't normal. This is a 2024 Jeffrey Dahmer, Scarborough said, referring to the fact that body parts believed to be they have a typo here. The fact that body parts believed to be Robinson's should be keep turning up across Milwaukee County. You know, just imagine your baby, bits and pieces of your baby being found all over the place. Oh my God. Scarborough said that the last time she saw and spoke to her daughter was on Easter Sunday, March 31st. Robinson was reported missing the next day on April 1st in the evening that she went on a date with Anderson and was killed. Sade was a beautiful soul. She was an amazing girl. I couldn't have asked for any better daughter. There was things my daughter did that many adults were not able to accomplish in their lifetimes. She was supposed to graduate with an associate's in criminal justice. And you know, the rest of this article is going on about the family's reaction. Now, this is the part that piqued my interest. Here we go right here. Sounds about white right here. Anderson was arrested and remains at the Milwaukee County Jail with bail set at $5 million. The with bail part is the part that I want you to let really sizzle in your spirit. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a prosecutor. I don't know. But what I do know is having any kind of bond for the most violent crime that could be committed is very interesting. And do we think that that bail would also be set if it was the other way around? And if it was a brother that had unalived a 19-year-old white girl? We're about to have a very important conversation. Now, I need us to all look at this poster. I'm trying to remain monetized in this video, so I need y'all to catch on to the Florida girl lingo here. I'm going to kind of mumble it, but y'all have to be smart, catch on. So we about to take a good look at this Neanderthal. Let me pull it up. Now I'm gonna show y'all this. I saw this and I found this to also be very interesting. Which video is it? Now take a look at this. I was worried after seeing this. Okay. I was shook after this because I kind of am getting an idea of what this is about to mean. Let me play this.
19-year-old Sade Robinson.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It is the highest level of violence imaginable.
Prosecutors outlined text messages between Anderson and Robinson, detailing what would be their first date. Let's eat at Twisted. I'm feeling seafood. Yes, I love seafood. Sounds good. I'm about to leave. I'll be there soon.
They went to Twisted Fisherman, and then they went to Duke's on Water Street, and then returned to his home around.
All right. So they go out to eat, and then they're saying she returned to his home. Let me tell you all something right now. In order to know who people are, in order to know who they are genetically predisposed to be, you need to take a look at their consistent history. Now, I know a lot of y'all hoes don't like me. I understand that. And I know a lot of y'all hoes don't like me because you search for places for people to make you feel better about yourself, even when you're doing wrong. And that will not be here. And I know that for a long time, you all have felt some type of way when I tell y'all, stop the whole divesting thing. Stop idolizing any man who don't look like you. Stop feeling as though only dating within your race is limiting your options. Now, I want to also say this. When it comes to, DV against women, when it comes to unalivings against women, This is something that is inevitably going to happen as long as men and women are walking the earth. Okay, this video is not to victim blame. It is not to do any of this. It's to have a realistic conversation. Violence against women, whether it's unalive DV, is something that is going to happen. It happens to all women from every country in every walk of life. The goal is not to say, oh my God, we're never going to have any violence against women on the behalf of men again. That would be unrealistic. The goal is in life as a woman is to lower risk. It's about setting yourself up and aligning yourself to have the lowest risk to certain potentially dangerous or violent situations. You have to understand the mentality of the Caucasoid male. You have to look at his history. You have to understand that it is in his nature to be narcissistic. It is in his nature to be sociopathic. It is in his nature to be genocidal. It is in his nature to be murderous. It is in his nature to conquer by any means. It is in his nature to harm the weak. It's how they've always been. It is in his nature to not have a conscience. Okay? These people are not human beings. This is where y'all go wrong at. And when you deal with someone who is only 96% human, you're putting yourself behind enemy lines. If and when an occurrence happens between you and the man, you are stuck calling his brother. You're stuck calling his people for help. We all know that a big part of how white supremacy stays relevant is by them staying on code. Okay? The minute that you go behind enemy lines to ha-ha kiki with the Caucasoid male, you have to understand the risk that you're taking there. This is not saying, that a black man could not do the same thing. The difference is a black man wouldn't have had a bond. The difference is they would have been looking to give him the max sentence. Okay? That would have been the difference. After a first date, you're going back to his house. Now, I know that the sisterhood tells you to expand your options, that men are only good for some peen, get you some peen, get you some money and go, and you're winning. Oh, he gonna take me out to eat. He gonna get me a seafood boil. Then he took me for drinks afterward, and I'm grown and I'm empowered. So after that, baby, I'm going to his house. And it sounds good. It sounds so fun. Yeah, I got my roster. Yeah, I'm dating this one and that one. In my Patreon, I teach the girls and talk to the girls about the game. A lot of women are very game goofy when it comes to this. And I tell them all the time, listen, baby, for about 3 weeks, you're supposed to be on the phone only. There is no meeting up in person. Okay? If the men are so afraid of being used for food and all that, in order to waste your time, waste his time, not waste his time, you have 3 weeks of phone conversations. That weeds out so many people with malintent. Most people just looking for a quick victim to sleep with or to chop up. They're not finna sit on the phone with you every day for 3 weeks. Haha. It not saying it's 100%, but it is a big eliminator. Number 2, you don't never go to no man house. You don't never go to no man house unless y'all are in a relationship. Times is different. Okay. Back in the day, people could creep. Now they got location on. They got hidden cameras, ring cameras. Don't go to no man house. Them days are over. Okay. I used to date a guy and we moved in together. And one day I came home unexpectedly and he had a 19-year-old girl in our bed. And I slapped the fuck out that bitch. And I told her she was real young like this girl. She was 19 like her. And I said, stop letting these niggas get you caught up. Stop letting them want to sit and take from you. So you over here popping up at their house. No, the game is over. It's done. Okay. There is no going to no man house. You don't know who he is. You don't know who's going to pop up. All these girls got locations sharing. You don't know who he's dealing with. So to go to these men's house after the first date is insane. To go to a man's house that is a Caucasoid male that really he honestly looked like Jeffrey Dahmer. They all tend to have that same frazzled, very limp, oily dog hair. They tend to very much so resemble a canine of sorts. Okay, they all have a certain look. You know, y'all be looking at them talk about, oh, cute pasta and lobster. For me, when I see them, all I see is psychopath, conqueror. All I see is violence. And you look like I would be scared to run into you in a dark alley. But y'all just buck your eyes and be so excited for the validation of a man that don't look like you. Going to a man's house after the first date equals absolutely not. You should have already met some of his friends, you know, met some of his coworkers. He met some of yours, vetted him. And with saying that, also it's good to know all that online dating and meeting somebody cold and just talking and figure it out. The reality is it is really hard to ever truly know that person. You are much better off building a sense of community as a woman, having a network as a woman, and you casually spending time with those people in your network, in your community. And you'll be surprised how with just simply spending time in those networks and community, you end up getting to know people and building bonds. And getting married like that is so much easier. Dating like that is so much easier because you're not meeting a representative. You're not going on one date to a crab boil and then saying, oh, this person seems nice, and going back to their house. Under no circumstance, 3 weeks of the phone. By the time you meet in person, you're driving yourself there. Another thing I noticed in this article is that him and her left in her vehicle. She let him in her car. Absolutely not. You drive your own car. By the time y'all been on the phone for 3 weeks for you to figure out what is this, what do you want? You don't need to be meeting me in person. You know, at the end of the day, men, they want our presence. They want our feminine energy. No matter what they say, they can drizzle and all that cap ass bullshit all they want. At the end of the day, the day's got to end. And you want some feminine energy. You want to sit down and have a beautiful counterpart to join you. The man, they want to go eat and do nice things anyway. And any heterosexual man 100% prefers to do that in the company of some beautiful feminine companionship. Okay, so you sit him on that phone for 3 weeks. By the time we meet in person, we are meeting somewhere public. No, you cannot come to my house. No, I cannot come to your house. You have some men where they are very territorial and weird, even from the very beginning. Now you don't showed him where you live. Now all of a sudden it's a week later and he texting your phone talking about, oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and your car ain't home, you whore. Well, we've been dating for a week. You don't know where I am or what I'm doing. I don't got to tell you anything. You know what I'm saying? But they'll pull up. They'll drive past your house. They'll pull up. They'll come see. They want to. You don't even know where I live. Unless we are in a relationship and you are ready to contribute to my home and respect my home and be the only man in and out my home, you don't need to go there. For what? Your home is your safe, sacred spot. No man need to know where you live, and you don't need to go to his house either. Now, after everyone hypes you up to divest, this is the part they don't tell you about. Now, I'm going to play the rest of this clip on this video, and I want you all to see. I want you all to see what I see, because this has me very worried about how this case could go.
9:20 p.m. and sometime between that time and the early morning hours of April 2nd, the defendant killed Sade Robinson and dismembered her body intentionally, left pieces of her body in various parts through the county.
Anderson's attorney argued the state didn't have enough evidence.
Now, if anybody knows, can tell me in the comments, have they spoken on what a motive was for this yet? Is he just a serial unaliver and she just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time with him? Or was there some type of issue or altercation? That's what I want to know. So if you have any info on that in the comments, please go ahead and drop that for me. I'm going to rewind this a little bit so y'all can hear this very important part.
Body in various parts through the county.
Anderson's attorney argued the state didn't have enough evidence to support the first-degree intentional homicide charge.
With respect to showing probable cause that this defendant, that Maxwell Anderson, intentionally killed the victim, that he did so, I think it's lacking.
The judge set a $5 million bond and ordered Anderson not contact Robinson's family. Family, like Sade's mother and uncle, distraught after the hearing.
Sick son of a hurt my baby. She hurt nobody. She harmed nobody.
My sister and parents won't stop shaking, and it ain't because they're nervous. Imagine.
Sick son of a
Uh-oh.
$1 million bond.
Defendant that Maxwell.
Look at this. Look at this see-through, transparent, uncooked Tyson turkey leg, Cornish hen, wannabe Fabio, Monsters Inc., sulfur-ridden Neanderthal. I would love to know, as a Black woman, what would make you look at this recessive gened, flat, dog-haired, wet dog, non-rag, non-soap using, bathe once a week, lice-headed, with a beard that don't even connect? Pussy or crap. The appeal here cannot possibly be the physical. Okay? If I ran into this guy in a dark alley, I would be terrified. When I look at this, that's what I see. I see violence. I see murderer. I see Game of Thrones. Okay? He looked like he was the main character in Game of Thrones. This crook looked like when you defeat all other crookers, this is the final level Bowser crook, equipped with full, thin, flat, blonde, golden retriever hair. Okay? I know he just smelled like skin. He looked like he's supposed to walk on all fours. Okay? He looked like the exact cave dwellers that the Moors had to come in and show them how to wash their feet. He looked like the bottom of his feet black. Okay? When I look at him, he just looked like he wears no underwear, and the anal lining on the inside of his orange prison suit is brown. That's what he looks like to me. Okay? He looks like he has plaque buildup behind his bottom teeth to me. He looks like he has untreated cavities. This man looks like he eats cannibal sandwiches. Do y'all know what that is? It's a raw, uncooked beef sandwich with onions and salt and pepper that the Caucasoids eat on bread. This man looked like his first crush was his sister. Okay? This man looked like when he goes to the doctor and he say, "What's my blood type?" They say genocide. Okay? So once you really stop fantasizing, once you really decide, you know what? Instead of fantasizing about them, let me just see them for exactly what they are. The appeal goes away. Nor am I about to put myself in a position for if and when this cave dweller puts a finger on me, that I am now at mercy with his brothers, with his family, who look just like him. Okay? The female podcast voices tell y'all to divest. They tell you to cheat. They tell you to do what you want to do. You can play those games, but them games might not be playing with you. Okay? In life, you're going to have issues. There's going to be violence. I have been a victim of BV myself. Okay? Your big sister done been through it. I don't look like what I've been through. Okay? But I survived, and you can too. And the best way to survive is, once again, to lower risk. With them, they are able to do whatever they want, and they say, "You look great, buddy. Have a great day." Don't do it. All right? For this sister here, there's a spiritual element of this that you all have to understand as well. Your foremothers that came before you, these cave dwellers like this forced themselves on your foremothers. Our foremothers never ever saw them and said, "Oh my God, you are so attractive." They had to force themselves on us. It has never been within our nature to want to give our womb and nurturing to the same ones who are the face of our oppression as a people. And in our long journey of life, this much of it is spent here on earth. This much. And when you take that time to commit treason, because that's what it is. If your foremothers were forced to have these pigskin, sulfur, wet dog Neanderthals force themselves on top of them, if they were forced to, and then you turn around and do it willingly, all under the guise of, I gotta do me and get what I want, you're not thinking long term, sis. You do know that your day will come to transition, and dealing with them Neanderthals, it'll come quicker than you think. You're going to have to look at all the women that suffered and came before you. And do you want to, for this small time on earth, have to live an eternity being outcast by your foremothers and by your ancestors, looking at you like, how could you? Do you know what we had to endure? For our foremothers, it didn't matter if she was married, if she had her own children. If those cave dwellers wanted one of our foremothers, they had her. And a day is going to come where you'll have to face them again. And do you want them saying, are you serious? After what they did to us, you went and willingly laid down with his grandson? Think big. You as a woman, you really transcend when you realize it's not just about me. There's a bigger picture. When you live with a bigger picture as a woman, it's a beautiful thing. This is not something we're typically taught as Black girls, though. I know I sure wasn't. But the reality is when you have a certain level of loyalty to the women that came before you, you get loyalty back. Okay? Stop letting the podcast sell you bad ideas strictly under the guise of doing what you want and what makes you happy. What makes you happy does not make you last sustainably. Chasing whatever make you happy and whatever you want at that time is the quickest way to go chasing waterfalls. Y'all must leave them alone. Now, I ain't gonna say too much, but if it was my child, I know how I would handle it. But I understand that everybody do things differently. All I know at this point is that I pray for peace for her family and pray that other little sisters don't do this. White supremacy is a real thing. Do not put yourself behind those enemy lines. Just please. I don't want to see this happening to no more sisters. This just breaks my heart. Divesting going wrong once again. And the babies are getting younger and younger. Rest in peace to the little sister. And I would like you all to, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments. Let me know any updates you may have found. I hate having to make videos like this, but we had to talk about it. And I do want to thank y'all for watching this video. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you all on the next one.